What up? What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Justin. Welcome to week 7. I said 7 of our current season. Again, disclaimer: OBJ does not make an appearance until season number 4. So, if you guys are expecting some 99 OBJ gameplay, gonna be a little bit before we can get there. So, like I said, season. I keep saying week. Season number 4. We going ahead and we unleash that bastard. And the very first play, I streak him and he's double covered. You got to find out what happens. This OBJ is you'll find out. So 2nd and 1, we get ourselves a nice little stop on the backfield after analyzing the starting lineups from the top players from the team. See, that's what I mean by Joey Porter's a monster. A lot of people are like, really, just anybody could be a monster if you sent them untouched to a B gap. But it's like, did you see that play right there where he got picked up, but immediately had a block shed that was absolutely phenomenal? Like, his block shedding is like something I've never seen before, sent on a blitz. He kind of reminds me of DeMarcus Ware of last year. DeMarcus Ware in Madden 15 was one of the glitchiest blitzers of that year, like that I've played with. Ultimate Legend DeMarcus Ware from the Cowboys, like the Cowboys edition. He would come in screaming, and if you put a hand on him, he still like disengaged like really quick. Nice throw right there. He has a nice little C route right there. Picks up the first down. Does a nice job of moving the ball. So yeah. So analyzing the teams or the top players, you know, he's got like a gold player, so he only has a few elites, and you would think that the game would be made a ton easier, which it is. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and justify like that things aren't easier when you go up against somebody who has like a bunch of gold players and stuff like that, considering I have top tier players. I would say defensively more than anything, where defensive players, the top tier defensive players, it's a huge difference from the top tier from the lower tier defensive players. Like, you guys know I got my budget squad. Horrible read by me. Almost got picked off. And I ended up just playing really bad. That's what happens when you man, a lot of people really believe like I'm great like at the game, where like I'm that should have been a pick. Like, I'm good. I'll give it credit, like I'm good. Like I always say, if I play somebody really great, I'm probably gonna lose. If I play somebody like really bad, I'm probably gonna win. I'm somewhere, like, am I good enough to beat anybody in the world? Absolutely. I'm good enough, but it's highly unlikely, if that makes sense. Like, a lot of people ask me, can I beat Problem? Am I good enough to beat Problem? Yes. Like I said, I'm good enough to beat anybody in the world. That's a fact. But not likely. If I played Problem 100 times, I may sneak away with 4 to 5 wins. Maybe. I'll beat him eventually. I'm good enough to beat him, but he'll slaughter me 95% of the time. This game is, but anyways, like I was saying, since I have my budget squadron, I feel like I can move the ball pretty much the same with both teams. I'm able to have success on offense with the budget team. I'm able to have success here, but defense, it's a whole nother ball game. It's completely different. Players awareness are different. Their speeds are Ted Ginn, don't do it to him. Don't do it to him. Theodore Ginn, Ted Word Ginn. Knock his head clean off. Why don't you? Just knock it clean off. So, yeah. So, like, if I have, there's a big difference between a Ty Law and, 72 overall silver corner. But, to me, there's not that much of a difference between a Torrey Holt and an 80, a 72 overall receiver. I mean, they're both more than likely going to catch wide open passes. They're pretty much gonna, be able to just get open on certain routes, and I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, there's a difference, but to me, the huge difference is that of defense. Vast majority. So, me going up against somebody, he's got like a bunch of golds. Like, to me, my biggest advantage is, me having defenders that are gonna do what it is that I want them to do. That's why a lot of players are transitioning over to MUT, because they actually do what you want them to do. When you go on ahead and you play, your regular ranked matches, you may have 1 or 2 defensive stars. If you get Seattle, you got an amazing backfield. You got Sherman, but you got one Sherman. He can only cover one side of the field. Where a MUT, you can have 3 or 4 Shermans, and it makes it a little easier to run defense when you got multiple guys with great coverage. Whereas on offense, it makes it tougher to move the ball when you're going up against somebody who can have multiple great coverage. Whereas in head-to-head, you only have to worry about, on both sides of the ball, 2 to 3 stars, maybe 4 stars. I'm talking about stars, if you're lucky. You can pick the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is a star. Eddie Lacy's a stud. You got Jordy Nelson. You got a few offensive players, but, 4 to 5 studs. And on defense, they got a few. But in MUT, you can get them all over the place. And that's why a lot of people like it because, like last year, for example, overpowered was Pistol Bunch. And it was very difficult to stop because there was 4 to 5 plays you needed to prepare for all at the same time. You had to worry about the close drags or whatever they call it. You had to worry about PA fork. You had to worry about the counter. You had to worry about the flood. You have to worry about the strong power and the runs. So you had to worry about quite a bit and all around the same. And in my opinion, to stop that frustrating formation last year, you needed really good linebackers. Linebackers that could play the pass and play the run all in one shot. That way, no matter what it was they did, you had a good chance of picking up what it was they were doing and stopping it. Where if you came out and wrecked teams, it was so tough, man, because you got these 81 overall linebackers with damn near no awareness that made it difficult to stop. But nonetheless, we end up easily winning a game that we were supposed to win. Even though people will be like, "Well, you're supposed to win every game. Look at your team." On the contrary, man, I run up against quite a bit teams that are similar to mine, way more than I did last year. Like last year was a while before I ran into somebody that had a similar team than me. This year, quite often, am I going up against people with Bruce Smith and Jason Taylors and Herman Moores, and it wasn't like that last year. It wasn't. It took a while. It took a while. But nonetheless, man, we end up coming away with the victory. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, man, I'm gonna try to fly these gameplays out to you guys. That way, we can get to season 4, get you that 99 OBJ gameplay. So far, perfect season. Hopefully, we can continue. We're doing good on offense. We're struggling on defense as always, but we're capitalizing on the few stops we're able to make. It's your boy GS. We're gonna go ahead and be signing out. Peace. Give it to me, baby.